What's up guys, if you have worn leather in your car or you provide car care services and you are interested in leather restoration, in this video I'm going to show you my work on set of seats from BMW E30 from 1989. So first of all, let's have a look at the condition of the interior of the car. So if you consider the age of the car, 35-year-old, the leather is still in quite good condition overall. The worst part is the passenger seat. Someone left some round object on the seat for a long time, and because of that we have sort of nasty looking circular imprint. The rails of the seats are very rusty, so I don't really have proper equipment to deal with that. However, I was going to use small sandblaster to try to get rid of that sort of excess of rust. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it with rust converter, and then I will paint them with black paint. When it comes to removing the seats, in this case the job was very simple. There's only 4 bolts holding the seats in the car, so I screw them off. There's no wires, there's no airbags in the car, so in this case the job is extremely simple. So now I'm ready to start my restoration process, and of course, as in every leather restoration, I start from cleaning the leather. For cleaning the leather, I'm going to use Geist Rapid Leather Cleaner. It's a very effective product. It will deal with this sort of dirt with no problems. So I have the leather cleaned. The second step in this restoration will be I will try to fix the dents in the leather. There is a couple of small ones in the back section. However, there will be a bit of challenge in this case on the passenger seat. Before I proceed with next stages and using the filler on this imprint, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to fix this dent. So the way to do that is we can use source of heat. In this case I'm gonna use heat gun. I'm gonna warm up the leather and then I'll try to massage it. So this way the leather might go back to the shape as it should be. To speed up the process, what we can do is we can warm up the leather, we can massage it, and also we can use chill bar. This piece of metal, it's a brass, so it stays cool all the time. So the way we do it is we warm up the leather and then cool it down with the brass. So as you can see on the back section, it works pretty well. I'm getting sort of quite nice result on that. However, in the case of this passenger seat, I don't expect miracles because the damage is pretty nasty there. But whatever I'll be able to improve in this case, that will sort of reduce amount of filler that I will need after. So as you can see, there is some improvement in this case. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna sand down this leather, and I will try to do the same thing again after sanding. For sanding the leather, I'm going to use 2 gradations of sanding pads. For heavier damage like here, I'm going to use 320 gradation sanding pads. For places where the leather is still in relatively good condition, I will use 500 gradation. So I'm going to start from passenger seat. I will try to remove the rusty residue that is on the leather. In this case, I will use sanding pads, but I might have to use something else to try to get rid of that. It looks like sanding pads are not effective enough for that, so I will use screwdriver and I will try to gently scrape it off. The reason we sand in the leather in general when it comes to leather restoration is we want to create better grip for the new paint. Also what we want to do is we want to get rid of all top coat from that leather. The most important thing when we sand the leather is we want to avoid sanding the stitching. The reason of that is if we sand the stitching too hard, what might happen, we might damage it and we won't be able to fix it. After sanding, we need to get rid of the dust, so I'll use pressured air for that. After that, we need to degrease the surface, and for this I will use solvent cleaner for leather. I'm going to try again to improve the passenger seat, so I will use heat again and we'll see will that make it better or not. So again, I got slight bit of improvement. After that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the leather. Also, I'm going to work on the circle on the passenger seat with the filler. So this is how the seats look like after the filling. I left them for half an hour in front of air heater and filler is dry now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to sand down the filler. After sanding the filler, we have to get rid of the dust again, so I'm going to use compressed air again and a bit of solvent cleaner. In the case of passenger seat, I have to repeat the filling process. That's because the filler shrinks while it dries. So I'm going to keep going with this seat to try to get as best as possible results. So now I have the leather ready for spraying. When it comes to the passenger seat, I try to do my best. In this case, I applied filler about 5 times. Then I sanded it well. Here is the result. I don't expect it's gonna be looking perfectly. That's because the damage is too deep. In this case, I would have to bring the seat to trimmer to replace this panel. So now I'm gonna spray the color. For this, I'm just gonna use BMW OM black color. Let's give it a go. So now I have the color finished. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna leave this seat till tomorrow to apply the top coat. The reason of that is I want to make sure that the color cures properly before I seal it with the top coat. So now I'm gonna spray the top coat. In this case, when you're spraying the top coat from Geist, we have 2 top coats, top coat matte and top coat gloss. We have to mix them together. The ratio is about 70% of top coat matte and 30% of top coat gloss. We have to add some hardener to that, which is about 3 to 4%. So here is the final result of our restoration. Before I put the seats back to the car, I'm going to apply conditioner on the seats. The leather is about 35-year-old, so it's already dry to some point. During the restoration process, we don't help in that case as well because we're using heat gun, we're using chemicals. So it's really good idea to soft that leather after the restoration. To bring back the softness and all the features of leather, what I'm gonna use on this leather is Gaze Leather Softener. Basically, this is oil designed to fit the leather. When we apply this leather oil initially, what's gonna happen is the surface is gonna look very glossy. However, when it will be fully absorbed, then the seats are gonna look properly again. So let's have a look at some befores and afters of our job. We done paint correction on this car, we done ceramic coating, we cleaned the inside deeply, and we done the leather restoration. So that's everything in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you like this type of content, make sure you subscribe my channel so you won't miss any other videos that I'm gonna publish in the next while. If you have any questions, comment below and see you on the next one.